Yeah. 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 Welcome to Beyond the Block, everything crypto. Welcome to Beyond the Block, everything crypto.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be tackling something pretty fascinating. We're looking at cryptocurrency, but with a twist.
Ooh.
We're going to be focusing on Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock,
Right.
and his journey from, well, let's be honest, a crypto skeptic
Yeah.
to, well, a believer.
It's a fascinating story.
It is. This is a guy, if you remember back in the day, called Bitcoin, a tool for money launderers.
Right. Exactly.
So what happened? What made this financial giant change his tune? And what could it mean for all of us for the future of finance?
Well, to understand that, we kind of have to rewind the clock a bit.
Okay.
Back to, say, 2017.
Yeah, Bitcoin's just starting to make a splash.
Exactly. Bitcoin was making headlines. And Fink, well, he wasn't buying it.
Not at all.
I mean, he straight up said
Yeah.
that Bitcoin was an index of money laundering.
Strong words.
Oh, yeah. Back then, crypto was like the Wild West, you know?
Total Wild West.
It was this whole world of overnight fortunes, shadowy figures, and frankly, a lot of scams.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly a place where a firm like BlackRock, known for its, conservative approach,
Yeah.
would want to play around.
Like reputation matters.
Totally. And Fink didn't just talk the talk. He said, point blank, that BlackRock wasn't seeing any client demand for crypto.
Yeah. And for a CEO like Fink, who's all about meeting client needs, that was a pretty big statement.
Big statement. But even back then, I found it interesting that there were these little hints of curiosity in some of the things he said.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he was clearly intrigued by Facebook's attempt to launch its own cryptocurrency, Libra. Remember the Libra?
I remember Libra.
He even talked about how crypto could make it easier to exchange foreign currency, especially for folks in countries with unstable currencies.
That's a good point.
So even in his early skepticism, he kind of seemed to recognize that blockchain technology, the tech behind crypto, had this transformative power, this potential.
Right. Like he talked about how it could speed up transactions.
Yeah.
Make things more transparent.
All things that, a financial institution like BlackRock cares about.
Big time.
Right. And then things started to change.
The world shifted.
Remember 2020?
Oh, yeah.
Pandemic hits.
Yep.
Global markets tank.
Right.
Suddenly, everyone's scrambling for safe haven assets.
Something, anything that could hold its value amidst all this chaos.
Exactly. And that's when we start to hear Fink talking about Bitcoin as digital gold.
Interesting.
He starts arguing that Bitcoin, just like gold, could be a hedge against inflation, against geopolitical risks.
He's making a comparison here.
He is. And he even pointed out how Bitcoin's price tended to rally during times of global turmoil.
Huh.
Just like gold and treasuries often do.
Interesting. So we're seeing a change in his thinking.
Yeah.
Not a sudden flip-flop, but a gradual shift, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Almost like this measured, thoughtful reevaluation
Yeah.
based on the way the market's changing and a deeper understanding of how this technology works.
It makes you wonder what caused that deeper understanding.
Right. Well, I think that's a conversation for our next part.
Can't wait.
So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back after a short break. And we're back. Now, before the break, we were talking about how Larry Fink's view of Bitcoin started to shift.
Yeah, from money laundering tool to digital gold.
Right. But it's even more than that.
It is.
Because he doesn't just see Bitcoin as like a speculative asset
Right.
or just a digital version of gold.
Right.
He's actually really, really bullish on the potential of blockchain technology as a whole.
Oh, yeah. He sees huge potential there.
Huge, to completely revolutionize all kinds of industries.
Like way beyond finance.
Way beyond. We're talking supply chain management, healthcare, voting systems.
Yeah, the possibilities are really pretty mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. It's like he sees blockchain as this foundation for a whole new digital economy.
Yeah.
A way to build trust and transparency into all these systems that have, traditionally been really slow,
Yeah.
opaque, and prone to corruption.
Exactly. Ripe for disruption.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the thing is, BlackRock isn't just talking about this potential.
No, they're not.
They're putting their money where their mouth is.
They're walking the walk.
Right. They've been filing for all these crypto-related ETFs,
Right.
exploring ways to integrate blockchain into their own operations.
That's a big deal.
Huge deal.
Yeah.
So this brings up a question, right? For the average investor out there,
Right.
does Fink's change of heart, does this mean we should all be, like, running out to buy Bitcoin?
Well, I think not necessarily.
Okay.
It's important to remember any investment, especially something as volatile as crypto,
Yeah,
comes with risks.
for sure.
It's crucial to do your homework, understand the technology, and only invest what you can afford to lose.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, Fink's endorsement, it doesn't mean that crypto is a sure thing.
All right.
But it does suggest that the risks are becoming more calculated, more manageable. He's not saying everyone should go all in on Bitcoin.
Right.
He's just saying it can potentially play a role in a diversified portfolio.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's really emphasizing the broader potential of blockchain to transform industries beyond just finance.
Which is, I mean, that's probably the most exciting part of this whole story,
It is.
right? We're still in these really early stages of this blockchain
Right.
revolution.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hard to predict how it's all going to play out.
Totally.
But it does have this potential to be just as transformative as the internet.
I think so.
And BlackRock is clearly trying to position themselves
Yeah.
to be a major player in this space.
Absolutely. They're not just dipping their toes in the water here.
Not at all. They're diving in head first.
Head first.
I mean, think about it. If a financial giant like BlackRock,
Right.
known for, their cautious, data-driven approach,
Yeah.
is embracing crypto and blockchain,
It's a pretty strong signal.
that's a big signal that this is more than just a passing fad.
More than a fact.
It's a sign that the financial world is changing,
Yeah.
and those who are willing to adapt, to embrace these new technologies, are going to be the ones who thrive.
That's the key takeaway.
Big takeaway.
Yeah.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Okay.
It's important to remember, crypto's still a relatively young asset class.
Yeah. Just
It's volatile.
sure.
There's still regulatory hurdles,
Yeah.
security concerns,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of unknowns.
Absolute.
But Fink's journey from skeptic to supporter
It's a journey.
suggests that maybe the tide is turning.
It does.
And for someone like him,
Right.
who's built his career on identifying major market trends
Yeah.
and capitalizing on them,
Right.
that's a signal that's worth paying attention to.
Definitely.
So what can we learn from Fink's crypto evolution?
That's the big question.
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways here is, the importance of staying open-minded.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The world of finance and technology in general, it's constantly changing.
Always evolving. Yeah.
What might have seemed like a fringe idea a few years ago
Right.
could be totally mainstream tomorrow.
Exactly.
And Fink's journey, it's a perfect example of that.
It really is.
He didn't just write off crypto,
No.
He took the time to actually learn about it,
He did his homework.
to understand it, and ultimately to change his mind.
That's key.
I think it's a good reminder for all of us to be willing to, challenge our own assumptions,
Yeah.
to be open to new information,
Absolutely.
and to adapt our thinking as the world changes around us.
Because it is changing rapidly.
It is. And
Yeah.
and maybe, just maybe, to reconsider our stance on things that, we might have dismissed in the past.
Interesting.
Who knows, we might surprise ourselves.
Exactly.
So if you're out there and you're still on the fence about crypto,
Yeah.
I really encourage you to do your own research, to understand the risks,
Right.
the rewards, and decide for yourself if it has a place in your financial future.
It's a personal decision.
It is. Don't just dismiss it because it's new or different or scary.
Right.
Take a page from Larry Fink's book
Yeah.
and be open to the possibilities,
That's good advice.
because the financial world is changing.
It
And the
is.
people who are willing to embrace that change, those are the ones who are going to benefit the most.
I think that's a great point to end on.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating deep dive today exploring this evolution of thought around crypto.
Really makes you think.
It does. If someone like Larry Fink can change his mind on something as radical as crypto, what other shifts might be coming?
Right.
And how can we all position ourselves to not just navigate those shifts, but to actually benefit from them?
That's the question we should all be asking.
That is the question.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Be sure to check out Beyond the Block Crypto podcast. They got all the latest news and in-depth analysis to keep you up to date. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those curiosity engines running.
Everything crypto.